So as per usual, it's a Friday stream. We have a preview of Monday's update to cover, along with some other stuff as well. So I've picked out a couple things that hopefully you'll all enjoy, and then we'll go from there. And feel free to comment on my incredible outfit, of course with the Jester walk override. But yes, we're going to jump right into it. So Monday's update, the main focus is the in-game calendar of events. It's a project from a moderator. He worked on this with, oh goodness me, I can't remember their mod name. Unfortunately, they're not here anymore. But they worked on it as part of one of their first projects a while back, and now they've been able to finally move it into the live game. It's been on for a while, and yeah, it's pretty good to do it. So just to explain how this is going to work, or how it will work for Monday's update. In the game currently, you can only see the next event coming up by mousing over the little eye icon on your in-game clock, and then that's about it. With Monday's update, you'll be able to click on the in-game clock, and now you'll get the calendar, and the calendar will display everything that we have added here from Jagex. This can include the following: news posts. Oh, there we go. I should probably keep my mouse on that. News posts, treasure hunter, boss masses, live streams, minigames, seasonal events, or even miscellaneous. So what you can then do is look at the day planner and actually see what's going on throughout the day, instead of relying to find on a news post or waiting to see when the clock updates next. So for example, today is the 15th, so fingers crossed I should be on here myself, so we can see that that's the wrong one, sorry. So we're on the day planner up here, so we can click on it. You can see that we have the patch notes teasers here. It mentions the duration, what you can expect. There's also a link, so for the first time you can now actually click directly on the link and it'll take you to it, which is pretty cool, because we don't actually have that functionality in game right now. So with this, you'll be able to just go on it, click the stream, and it'll take you straight there, which is really awesome. And also, if there are any in-game events going on at the time, in this case, Modly has a Soul Wars event at 6 o'clock game time. So if you didn't know that, now you do, and you can take part in that if you so wish. Alongside that, of course, we have our PMod events who are doing their masses, as well as your miscellaneous events and everything else. You cannot link clan events to the calendar. Don't get me wrong, as someone who absolutely loves clans, that would be amazing. To link the notice board onto the calendar would be absolutely amazing. Functionality is not in for that with this update, unfortunately. So I sorry to be the bearer of bad news there, but I had to kind of clear that out of the way here and then. Someone in the chat said, any update to Group Iron Man? We literally published a developer blog on Group Iron Man earlier on today. Someone will post it in the chat for me, I presume, provided that Moobot doesn't stop them. So if you do get stopped, check it on Reddit or on the RuneScape forums, and it's there. Yeah, I had a feeling you guys wouldn't be able to post a link. Anyway, so that's kind of the in-game calendar. There really isn't much more to show you, because what you see is kind of what you get here. There's nothing hidden underneath. Obviously, feedback-wise, when the update comes out, we're absolutely looking for feedback on this. But for example, in my case, I want to see news posts, I want to see streams, and that's about it, because that's what I like to focus on. I love seeing the news posts that we put out, because we can now put news posts in the calendar. This makes it way more important for us, because it allows us to now directly give you that news post in the game. We do have, of course, the in-game lobby on the right side. It shows the news post, but having the calendar there means that we can add to it as we wish. And also, the functionality allows us to update this on the fly as well. So it makes things a lot easier for us in that sense, and obviously it makes it pretty awesome to do so. Someone said clan broadcasts. Unfortunately, not this week. Trust me, there's no one in this office more who wants clan broadcasts in game already than me. But unfortunately, it is not the case. You cannot add your own events to the in-game calendar as well, unfortunately. The RuneScape will be given out at the end of the stream. In fact, you can probably see it in the chat box down here. So when the stream is over, I'll fire out RuneScape, and then you will get your RuneScape. RuneScape. Loads of different words. Anyway, shall we jump into some patch notes, ladies and gentlemen? So, first one, I'm going to kick us off with a bit of a great one, in my opinion. Mod Hunter has done something really, really awesome that you might look forward to. So when you go into edit layout mode, you might notice there's a bit of a change. We have something called advanced options, and now you have the ability to customize what you want to see on your edit mode. If you go into live, i.e. the current game, and go on edit mode, everything is thrown up in your face. It's horrific. With this, you can now toggle what you want to see and drag around the interfaces accordingly. So I'm just going to remove the day planner a moment, just so we can get a proper look at this. So if... Oh, come on. I think I accidentally went into combat. Bear with. Okay, there we go. Right, so if I don't want to see my minigame HUD, I can hide that. And I can change this accordingly. To be honest, I should probably move this, because if I'm doing Telos, I can't see his health bar properly. But anyway, you can see stuff like crafting progress. All of this is now all, as we call, toggleable. There's also a JMod Toolbox window, which I'm going to presume you guys can see when this update goes out. It's not like it matters, but I'm not sure why you guys would want to see that. And also other things as well. So this is much more nicer for people who want to obviously fully customize their interfaces without having so many boxes up in your face where you have to try and click through and find the tiniest gap to grab hold of it. You can now decide where you want to click and drag. Just to clarify, by default, when you first open it, the following is toggled by default, just so you know. The buff bar, crafting progress, debuff bar, minigame HUD, and XP pop-ups. Of course, you can change that however you wish. So the moment you toggle it back on, you can bring it back up and move it however you wish. With this as well, so the main reason for it, everyone's obviously saying they really like the update, and obviously it's self-explanatory, but the main reason is to kind of hide the clutter from edit layout and stop it being so overwhelming. And with this, I mean, Mod Hunter's done an incredibly good job of that, and I think it's safe to say that you're all very much looking forward to it, which is very exciting. People are saying about avatars and clan avatars in game and stuff. Yes, I wish the Ava rework update was this week too. Unfortunately, it's not the case. When you hit reset, does it reset the entire HUD or just the checked items? Well, let's find out. So we press reset and it is reset basically the positions of our stuff. So you saw I moved XP pop-ups. Let us do an example. So if we move buff bar a moment, hide it, reset. So yeah, you can see it reset the positions of the components that you had selected. So it basically changes what you, or reverted what you've then applied at that time. So that's what it does there. So that's kind of a really cool thing that Mod Hunter has done. I thought I would show that for you for Monday's updates. Next up, people are going to say finally, but the Magister's Tactics tab has now been updated. It now has the information on it, and that is now one of the Tactics tabs that are now up to date. I do want to point out, obviously, we still have to do Angel of Death as well as Solak in due time, I think is the right word for it. Someone peeping through the door there. I couldn't see who that was. Anyway, yes, Tactics for Magister is there. People will say finally, but yes, it is now there. Next up, I just want to read you all of the feedback that we're bringing in for Solak on the next update, in case you're not aware of it. So for Phase 1, I'm just going to read these out point by point. So if I go a little bit quick, I do apologize, but hopefully you'll make sense of this. If you happen to fail the lockdown mechanic in duo mode, it'll now spawn 2 Blightbound lashes instead of 3. Both the arms and legs on the lockdown mechanic will now have timer bars, so you can see how long it is until that mechanic fails, so make sure you do it before that timer bar runs out. The radius on the arms and legs have been reduced a little bit, so you don't have that click box issue with trying to decide which one to click on. Also, the arms and legs will no longer return to their full life point should a player stop attacking them, which some people have done accidentally. And also the roots, Blightbound creatures and core and arms and legs can also be stunned, which is quite significant because everyone wants their stun DPS, don't they? Phase 2, the click radius on the anima eruptions has been slightly reduced, and a message will now display consistently when the anima storm has been fully depleted. If you see me, by the way, looking up and looking down, it's because I got a microphone arm in my way, so I'm trying to make sure I can read it. The click radius on Solak's arm during the Binding Crush mechanic has also been reduced. And for Phase 3, Erifdor's life points have been reduced from 500,000 to 250,000 in duo mode, and his stats have also been increased. So that's the player feedback we've gotten from Solak that has now been implemented for Monday's update, courtesy of Mod Ram and Mod Yago. So it's very exciting, to say the very least. So hopefully you guys look forward to that. Next one, oh god, my voice went really high there. The next one I want to show you is related to the Scavenger Perk. So for this, we should probably get out an item with scavenging on it, shouldn't we? I believe... Oh, my bank is too full. Of course it is. Of course it is. Bear with me a moment, guys. So, Scavenger, as you know, people love to use it to gather up components. And I think it's really awesome just for smashing out your components and getting really lucky if you're, for example, hitting a Nox component as one example. What this now allows you to do is, you have to bear with me, I've had to mess around my interface a little bit to try and make sure it's stream worthy. Let's say, for example, I love seeing what components I get, but I don't like it coming up in my chat. It's a real pain to kind of see what's going on. I actually want to toggle it off. We have, of course, the XP drop system. When you get an XP, you get a number that floats up. It's the same thing we use for Men of False Reputation, for example. So with that being said, provided I have done this right. Cool, right? So what we're going to do now, I think this is going to work here. So, okay, so that was a really bad example because we just killed so many people. But just imagine you're getting your component and then the text is floating upwards like that. It'll now show you the component you get where it's floating up. Sorry, that was a really poor example. And also, of course, because I've got the potato out, I just got a lot of pets. Not legit. I wish. I'm going to do this properly. I want to actually show you this. That was a really bad example. Sorry about that, everyone. Thanks, John. I always rely on John for his background commentary. Huh? Well, that's a message that we shouldn't be seeing. That's weird. I'm just going to delete that moment. And then I'm going to have to double check that upstairs. Okay, anyway, ignore that. Alright, let's go and kill a scorpion. We're gonna have to spawn a weapon. SB melee. I have nothing set up here, so bear with me, everyone. Alright. So let's just do our hits, let's get our kill, and then when we get our kill, fingers crossed, what we should get is a little pop-up in a moment, which comes up, and then you can see the component you get. So basically, what that means is that you don't have to rely on chat to tell you what perks you get, or sorry, what components you get from Scavenger Perk. You'll just get a little pop-up that is put in. It's something that I managed to do really quickly, just because sometimes I like having my chat hidden, and I can still see the gains I am getting from my components. So hopefully you all like that. Next up is the Binding Necklace. This is a fun story, actually, with this one. So if you use the Binding Necklace, you will now have a way. I think it's called Necklace of Binding. Is it called Necklace of Binding? Necklace of Phoenix. I'll just create it, it's fine. If you have a Necklace of Binding, you'll now have a way of seeing the charges on there. Now, here's a funny story. In the current game, we use object variables, so we can track the charges per item. However, Binding Necklaces were made at a time where that didn't exist, so they are applied. That number is your account charges. Now, what that means is, if you've left yourself with one charge remaining, destroyed your necklace, create a brand new necklace, it will have one charge left. So just bear that in mind if you get very confused on Monday's update when you have a Binding Necklace out. It just uses what is called a classic variable, whereas nowadays we use object variables. This is an item, of course, from a long time ago, so I have to make that very clear from Monday's updates, just to let you know, because people wanted a way to see the charges, and it was just a quick mouse over and adding it, but I thought I'd explain how that works as well before people start going, well, why is it showing this when I've just made it? Also, I have some Keepsake news. Some pretty cool Keepsake stuff. So, from Monday's updates, you will be able to Keepsake the following. The Corrupt, Regular, and Superior Status Warhammers. They can now be stored in a Keepsake box if you so wish. So, if you love your stat Warhammers, you can now Keepsake them and, well, wear them to your heart's content. For some reason, I've got a Parasol equipped as my two-handed weapon. But anyway, and also, alongside that, Death Touch darts are now keepsakeable. You can now keepsake a Death Touch dart and run around with it equipped. So yes, you will be able to do that. I'll show you it right now, actually. I think it's called Sizzling Insta. There you go. Right, so you can see, and it's got config names, huh? So we have our keepsake box. I wish I had 1,000 keepsake keys on my account. Good grief. And then we have our dart. We can drag it in, and then we can store it. And then there you go. We have our keepsake dart keepsaked. Keepsake Dark, insta-kill Dart, Keepsake. There you go. So, yes, you can now do that from Monday's updates, provided you have a Dart. So, if you haven't got one, hope for the best that the Traveling Merchant from Deep Sea Fishing appears with a Dart. And if you haven't, you have to wait until you get then. But yes, you can do that. As you can see, I've not kept the Dart. So, just be aware of that. If you really want to keepsake and sacrifice a Dart, you will lose it. But if you really want to keepsake that badly, then you can do that. So yeah, I just want to make that a little bit clear. Also, some news for people who do Araxxor / Araxxor, the boss fight. We've changed what is called the bonus drop table for them. So right now, if you don't know, when you kill Rax, you will either get Araxxor arrows or a pheromone. We've decided to mix it up a little bit and add Triskelion keys on top of that. So now when you kill Rax, there is a chance you may roll a Trisk fragment instead of a pheromone or an arrow. So that means that you might be able to start stacking up on your Triskelion fragment pieces from that. Just keeping an eye on the chat. Just to clarify, that does not mean you can get 2 Trisk fragments in a kill, I believe. That fragment in the main table has now been moved over to the bonus table, so you shouldn't get a key drop key. So yeah, just be aware of that. No, that is not a troll. I just have to read that out. It was also tweeted by Mod Harrison earlier on Twitter as a Ninja Fix teaser, so just be aware of that. I'm a little bit confused by the hatred for that, if I'm honest, but feel free to elaborate on me. On that one. Next up is the Hall of Memories. We got some balancing changes that I want to talk to you about for Monday's updates. So I'll rattle them off in a bullet point list, and then we'll have one more thing to read out, and then we're pretty much done. I like to keep patch notes teasers short and sweet, so to speak, so hopefully it's kind of done that. Anyway, Hall of Memories. From Monday's update, the core memory will now have a minimum time cap of 30 seconds before it next spawns. The special memories have had their examines updated to include their outburst here. I'm going to say these names so badly. Both Aggie and Seren's success chance when harvesting has been modified to better accommodate for lower level diviners. Are you off? Yeah. Okay, bye John. Yeah, of course. The Master Clue Scroll skill riddle, that is a mouthful, for gathering a radiant memory can now be completed in the Hall of Memories. Divination Daily Challenge for Luminous and above can now be completed in the Hall of Memories. And also, all Divination Daily Challenges have had their first step updated to include the colony's location. So those are the feedback changes going in for the Hall of Memories on Monday. And also, I want to use this as a chance to talk about a little change to the achievements. We now have a mini quest tab for the achievements. Now, this is more of a way of being able to track your mini quest completion rates as such. So you can now see that the rest of the mini quests have been added. I added this back in October and never got around to releasing it. It was just an idea I had where I actually wanted to fully complete mini quests. And I was like, how many mini quests do we actually have? What am I missing out on? I finally managed to get around to it. So I'm pretty excited to get that out, which is obviously good timing, I think, with the achievement stuff. So yeah, it has all of the mini quest stuff in there. I'm pretty sure I've gotten everything, but I'm sure someone on Monday will be like, you missed this, how could you, my true trim is ruined, etc, etc. Anyway, it's all there, so fingers crossed everything's okay there. So hopefully you get excited for that one as well. It's funny because John has literally just obviously gone home because he's going to obviously go he's finished his day here. It means that, as per usual, I have to try and end this stream in the most professional, best production way possible, which means me going over tippy-toeing and trying to act like I'm not making any noise. So be aware of that in a few moments. I'm just going to have a quick nosy through the patch notes again one more time in case there's anything I've missed that I want to show. But I think... there's another one I actually want to mention really quickly. If you happen to do fight kill and you're taking on Hurakan, Hurakan will now have a boss health bar at the top of your screen, so you can keep an eye on his health. He is one of the only bosses in the game that actually didn't have that, so having that there is nice to have. so you don't have to rely on him to come back up to see how much health he has left. He now adheres to what we call the boss bar, where you can now see how much health he has remaining. Apart from that, oh, one more thing, actually. I'll show you this. For anyone who got lucky in the raffles from years past, we've actually updated the models of the golden Godswords. And for me to accurately show you this, I have to remove my particle scape. So bear with me a moment. So they now look more gold. It's as simple as that. They look way better. If you haven't seen the current version, get someone to check it out or get someone to show you. The Godswords look much, much better now. It would probably help if I undo my walk animation as well so we can keep still. So yeah, let me just do that a moment. Alright, there we go. That's much better. So yeah, this is what the Godsword looks like now. Well, this is one of the Godswords. You can see it looks a lot more golden. A very heavy sword dances with it, one hand holding it up, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that is one of the things I want to show you, and I think there might have been one more. Oh, if you use the Herblore Skill Cape perk, we give you a confirmation message when using it. It can get a little annoying when you want to keep using it, but you have this pop-up coming up, you want to press it, and then do it. That's not going to happen anymore. So Monday's update, there's no confirmation message when using the Skill Cape perk. If you're going to activate it, we're going to assume you want to use it. So that's going to go completely out of the way, so you can just melt through your herbs as you wish with that as well. Dark Sovereign, you've said it a lot for the stream. I did address this earlier, but what about the clan patch for the individual avatars? Soon TM is about all I can say. Avatar rework is waiting on QA. It is about as done as can be. It just needs to get the sign off from QA in WIP, and then it can go over to RC, and hopefully that'll be in the near future, because I want to get the Ava rework out already. Experiencing my own issues in live with capping and how slow it is and everything else. I want it out already. People are saying about the so-called tank tax, as they refer to it in Solak. Bear with me just one moment. I'm trying to find it because oh, actually, one more point I want to mention that, in that sense. Tank tax, I believe you guys are referring to, is when you are inside the mind, and then you and then it ends, you kill Solak, and then you die, i.e. your tank tax. That's not going to happen anymore. I can confirm that is fixed Monday. To read you the release note, a player will now be resurrected by the power of the Grove should they die after freeing Solak. So that is your so-called tank tax fix. So there you go. I can confirm that is for Monday's updates. But yeah, apart from that, that is just some of the patch notes coming on Monday. Short and sweet, hopefully. So hopefully you get a bit excited. We have the calendar, of course, so please make sure you check it out. Just click on the in-game clock, and then you'll get the events coming up for the week, and you can see what we have planned for you, and plan out your week accordingly and go to any events you wish. But apart from that, thank you so much, as always, for watching. As we get ready to end, I'm going to do my professional walk away, act like it's all professionally done and ended, so hopefully you all appreciate that. Someone said, if I've missed this stream, where can I find the notes? Rubik or Suity, I'm not sure which one will do it this week. Write up the notes on Reddit in what they call TLDW, so if you've missed any of this, they will summarize it for you. But apart from that, I'll go run upstairs and activate RuneScape, and then we'll get ready to enjoy our weekends. So apart from that, that'll end it. Hopefully you're excited for Monday as much as I am, and I will see you on Monday for the game update. Take care, everyone, and have a good one.